Now we're going to induct our first team of the evening. We're inducting the 1986 volleyball team presented by Coach Greg Balego. And in our coaching world, we ask a question often, what does it feel like to be coached by me? It's an intentional question about the real purpose of a relationship between a coach and his or her players. But thinking about this tonight, I was wondering about that question, what does it feel like to be your coach? And I've heard Greg talk about so many of the teams, and specifically your team, and I just think the word would be belonging and unending pride. Come on up, Greg Balego.
As I was making out the schedule for our 86 season, I was thinking, what kind of team am I going to have? And I was thinking, looking back, well, we've got these returning starters that are going to be seniors, and we've got a handful of juniors that really look good. So I decided that we probably would have an excellent team. And because of that, I started scheduling the toughest competition I could get. And as it turns out, I was right. When these kids came into practice that season, the whole team just gelled. And one of the beautiful things that you do as a volleyball coach, the most important thing is aligning that team so that all the strengths are magnified and weaknesses aren't there. Well, I got this group going, and we had one heck of a season. 17-3 on the regular season, one of the best records ever. And with that earned us a berth to #1 seed in Region 5 AA. We got a bye in the first round, won 3 straight matches, upping our record to 20-3. That allowed us, winning the Region 5 AA allowed us to go to the state tournament. Now this 86 was a very special year because that year, for the first time in the history of Minnesota, 2 teams from the state were ranked in the top 50 in the whole nation. Columbia Heights was ranked number 20, and Lakeville was ranked number 34. When we started the tournament, we got to play Hopkins in the first round. They were ranked number 6 in the state. And that morning, I had looked at the paper to see what the state rankings were, and obviously Heights was 1, Lakeville 2. But I was looking for Totino-Grace, and we still weren't in the top 10. I guess it didn't surprise me because no Catholic high school had ever been listed in the top 10 in volleyball in the state up till this point. So we thought we'll probably have to do our work at the state. We played Hopkins, ranked number 6 in the first round, beat them handily 2 games in a row. And I walked away thinking, wow, here's this little Catholic school tucked away in Fridley, Minnesota, and now we're in the Final 4 of the state tournament. Our second match, or the semifinals, was against Columbia Heights. That match was an amazing event. We lost 16-14 and 15-11, but that match lasted 2 hours. It was the longest match on all of the state tournaments. And the points just kept going back and forth, side out point. And it was just an amazing thing. I remember walking through at the end of the match, and we were shaking hands, players and coaches, and their coach came over to me and said, "That's the toughest match we've ever played. I don't want to have to face you guys again." Our team was beautiful to watch. Volleyball, I always think, is